This buck has caught me completely off guard. Now I have to capitalize on the moments this buck looks away to get into position. Approaching from the field side, standing where I stood 2 hours prior. This means the wind masked my entry, with him bedded somewhere near the ridgetop that I have no choice but to enter from. And this also means my method of scent concealment worked, which was before going over the ladder I stepped in and crushed fresh walnut hulls and acorn oil on the soles of my boots. And this guy is probably the same buck I bumped after he laid tight in his bed observing me a week prior. He's a young, slim belly 6-point with no brow tines, but after 5 years of hard hunting, I made up my mind last year to take the first legal buck that presents a shot this year. I cannot believe I missed that buck. I was going to wait for this buck to get closer, but I read his last few steps as his intent to follow a route of different travel away from me. So, in a split second, I acted. With him at 36 yards, I was between my 30 and 40 yard pin on my sights. I was already overcompensating, but when I released with his head up, his ducking made that shot higher. But I can live with that, as a clean miss is far better to sleep on than a marginal hit. He's unharmed and he's unsure, so he might be back. He's not too spooked though, but I did shoot a doe, so I'm gonna go start on this trail. The action was non-stop this night. I had a large doe approach from behind and left of me in my tree, and I tried to swing the camera around, but her route was still up in the air. I didn't know which way she was gonna go. So I swung the camera back in hopes she would walk under and in front of me for a better camera angle. But when she stopped browsing, she took a step in a direction that was going to lead behind me, so I shot anyway, because I'm a meat hunter first, and that camera position is low on my priority list. So I didn't get the video shot, but you can hear the shot in the arrowhead at 10 yards on a big, beautiful doe. Opposite direction. Complete pass through and a good blood trail right at the start. Real good blood trail. She is not going to be far. That's only 20 feet from where I hit her, so she is not going to be far. There she is. Good meat. Family. Pretty big doe. Get my tag filled out. So that's pretty much the angle I had on her. In, and out. Top of one lung and right in the middle of another. Big doe. Big doe. She was just 40, maybe 30, 40 yards inside there. I was sitting maybe, she ran 60 yards. That's where I crossed down over the ladder. And that buck, he came from the top of this ridge out. It's, man, I'm out of breath. Pretty lucky. I had some wind tonight, and was able to use that wind to my advantage to mask my sound and movements. And I got to sneak up in that tree. And these deer didn't know I was here for a change. And right at 6 o'clock, they come pouring out of the woodwork, ignoring these fields, soybeans, and apples. They're going for those acorns. They were most definitely going for those acorns. Look at that sunset. Beautiful. First day. Missed a buck. Missed a buck, but I got a doe. I am thankful to God for that. It's just funny. I get that buck on film and miss it. I get sure as heck will get that, but the kill shot on the doe, I couldn't get the camera on her, so it's just the way it goes, I guess. It's my first filmed archery hunt. But what a night. It was beautiful. I feel blessed to have experienced all that. I am truly thankful to God to have experienced that. It was just a remarkable hunt. That's why I do it. I love it. And there's no fist bumping here. Well, I messed that shot up. It was all my fault. I know what I did, and I don't feel I was in my game. I should have waited him out, but I was a little afraid he was going to go down the hill and rushed the shot, I believe. So I offer no excuses. I just have to manage my hunting time better. Day 2. It's another windy day, so I figured I'd take my chances. It's 2 days later. I'm going to take my chances with this wind again and see if I can sneak in on these deer. The only thing different is it's a little warmer. So I got to go really slow now so I don't sweat on the way in. But I'm hoping that wind will take care of things. I showed I could do it once, sneaking in on these guys. I'm going to try it again. I just don't know where they bed. Now, if they're not right where I'm heading, I'm good as gold. Because that buck came along this ridge. He didn't come from the field side. He walked the top of this ridge out and then turned into the woods. So I'm hoping he's bedded down here again. And let's give it a shot. Day 2. It's hard to find favorable wind in this location like I had the first evening, but I'm hoping its speed carries any scent over the heads of any approaching deer. Here I'm using milkweed silk. I don't buy into most products sold when nature provides better alternatives for free. About a half a dozen chickadees suddenly land around me, ushering in that prime time. But my attention is quickly averted to the sound of bounding hooves fast approaching from behind me. snuck up on me. Redemption. That son of a gun snuck up on me as I was trying to take pictures of chickadees, of all things. That wasn't the same buck from last night, I'm sure, but same time, 6 o'clock. Oh, the adrenaline rush right now. 6 o'clock. Boom. I can't believe it. He's gonna go down right there. I'm gonna just wait him out. I didn't hear him crash, but he stopped about 50 yards away. "25 minutes after 6, I'm down. There's my position right there. That's where he stood. And I gotta find my arrow. I got blood right there. Just need to find the arrow. Broke my arrow. Surprisingly, the thing is clean. Can't believe it. So I think I'm just gonna go right to where I saw him last instead of following this, because I'd rather kick him up out this way than to go deep into the tangle. So I'm just gonna go directly where I saw him last. Oh, I see belly. Yeah, it's not the largest of deer, but I'll tell you what, it's been about 5 years since I got a buck with a bow. So I'll take it. I'm happy. I am happy. Yeah, he's not the one from last night. Wow. I am happy. Praise God. I gave 2 soft grunts about 20 minutes prior when this buck came rushing in. I was already on the camera trying to video chickadees when he came running under my stand. And the shot ended up piercing one lung and passing dead center through his heart. And it exited from there and embedded into his left leg. The mule kick he gave was indicative of a heart shot, and you can hear him snap my carbon arrow in half after he had done so. Boy, that was the most well-spent purchase right there. Lumber for a ladder. Get him skinned out. There's in. Right there. Hit his leg in the process too. I can't find the... Probably broke off inside it. Not the biggest buck, but archery isn't easy for someone, especially like me, who doesn't get to go out often. And after the year I've had, the good Lord has looked down on me with favor. I'm the most appreciative to have that on my hands. It's a wonderful sport. Those of you who do it know it. And maybe next time I'll be ready to take out the recurve and start trophy hunting. But that felt good. It really did. And that's for my son, who told me to get him a rack so he could hang it up in his room. So that's for Nate right there. That's for you, Nate. Told me to get you a rack. I got you a little rack right there, buddy. My son painted my face yesterday, and he painted a cross on my neck. I didn't know it until I looked, and he told me he painted a cross for Jesus Christ, he said. And I thought, man, It's gonna be a good year. I'm gonna get something now. And I said, I thank God. Thank God for it. Whatever it is. I'm not after the bone, really. I'm after the spirit of the hunt. Without trying to sound too daggone cheesy. Finder at 10 yards, I tell you. I just got to work on that 36-yard shot.